Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So one of the conversations we really shy away from is the challenges that comes with trying to get a skilled worker visa, and also the challenges that we get to face even after we're able to secure the skilled worker visa. Now that's the purpose of this video, for us to have a conversation about those challenges and then talk about how I was able to navigate it, and not just myself alone, even those who are also on the skilled worker visa, how they're able to navigate some of these challenges. So that's going to be the full gist of this video. And most importantly, I think most people on the skilled worker visa should not necessarily be on the skilled worker visa. There are better ways for you to cut costs on your visa category here in the United Kingdom without having to pay those tens of thousands of pounds while on the skilled worker visa. Because trust me, it can really be expensive. So if you're on the skilled worker visa and you're wondering what other visa can I be on aside from being on the skilled worker visa and still be able to live and work in the UK and also help reduce the cost implication, then you should want to stick to this video till the end. And if you're also trying to secure a skilled worker visa, then this video is definitely for you. Don't go anywhere, keep watching to the end. And if you're coming across my channel for the very first time, do also hit on the subscribe button to join the Music Growing family and my returning subscribers. Thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. This is especially for those of us who are working in tech here in the UK and on the skilled worker visa. So if I probably just feel want on the skilled worker visa, there's actually a way for you to help reduce the cost, of being on a work visa in the UK. Now, it's no longer news that, you getting a skilled worker visa in the UK as an immigrant probably cost you tens of thousands of pounds, depending on your family size. So, for example, if you get a 3 years work visa as a single person, you probably will be spending roughly about £4,500 on the visa application. So if you're two, you've got like a partner, that's 9 grand. If you're now three, you got a child and all of that, you're looking at spending roughly about 13 grand on the visa application and the IHS and all of those costs involved. So it means after 3 years, you're getting a visa renewal, you're going to pay something similar to that again for the following year. That's if the home office doesn't increase the visa fee and the IHS fee later. However, if you're in tech, and this was what one, a particular individual I know did, and I think it might be relevant to someone, it might not be relevant to everyone, it might be relevant to someone. So what he did was, um, 3 months into his skilled worker visa, so he works as a software developer, and 3 months on his skilled worker visa, he was able to get endorsements from technician, and he was able to leverage on that endorsement from technician to then apply for a global talent visa. So the question you probably want to ask is why apply for a global talent visa when you're already on a skilled worker visa? And there's so many limitations of being on a skilled worker visa for those who don't know. Things like you can take up a second job, you can only work 20 hours on the second job. Not that you can't take up, but you can only work 20 hours on the second job. There are quite a number of restrictions. You can start a business. There are a whole lot of restrictions on if you're on the skilled worker visa. So what he did was he was able to like leverage on that technician endorsement, and he then applied for a global talent visa. Now, with the global talent visa, he could work with any organization of his choice. He could start a business. He could do practically anything in the UK. And with that, he had that flexibility. He could change job the way he wants without having to bother about renewing visas and all of that. And one other interesting thing about being on the global talent visa is that you get to apply for your indefinite leave to remain. That's your permanent residence. Um, Within 3 years or after 3 years of being on a global talent visa. So it means that you're spending lesser amount of money on visa application fee because you're just going to be on the visa for 3 years and then apply for ILR. While the skilled worker visa, you have to be on that visa for 5 years. So it means the first 3 years, you then need to renew again for another 2 years before you can then become eligible for applying for the skilled the indefinite leave to remain. So it's just a way of cutting costs and reducing the number of years you have to wait before you can become a permanent resident here in the UK. Now, one of the things that we get not to really talk about are the challenges, the skilled worker visa, or poses, or the challenges we get to face being on the skilled worker visa, or even trying to even get the skilled worker visa in itself. And with the whole new salary threshold requirement being introduced, it makes it very difficult to be able to get a skilled worker visa if you're living outside the UK. So I have quite a number of people who live outside the UK at the moment, and it's quite challenging for them to be able to get a skilled worker visa. Not because they're not good enough, but the kind of jobs they're getting or the kind of job offers they're getting doesn't meet the salary threshold requirement. And if it doesn't meet the salary threshold requirement, obviously you can't, you're not eligible, for applying for the skilled worker visa. So the science requirement is quite a major challenge at the moment. Another challenge being faced for those who are trying to get a skilled worker visa is getting a licensed sponsor. So there are opportunities out there, there are job opportunities out there. However, majority of those organizations with those job opportunities do not have license to sponsor. That means they are not licensed by the Home Office to sponsor anyone on a visa, which makes it difficult. And that's why I tell people if you're looking for a job and at the same time looking for visa sponsorship, it makes adequate sense to make sure you are applying or you first check out if you see a particular job opportunity with company X. The first thing you need to do before investing so much time and effort on the application is to go on gov.uk and confirm if company X has a license to sponsor. Because the thing is, if you eventually go through the whole recruitment process, get a job offer, if they don't have a license to sponsor, the chances of them applying for that license because of yourself alone is extremely low or impossible, really. So it just makes sense to make sure that you confirm that any organization you're applying for an opportunity with has that license to sponsor, so you don't waste your time and just um your time applying for that particular job, which you eventually would not get any sponsorship for. Another common challenge we get to face, when it comes to like applying for skilled worker visa or being on the skilled worker visa, is the cost implication. Now, I know people shy away from conversation about money, especially among immigrants here in the UK. And the truth is, the more we talk about these things, the more we get to understand what standpoints we should be facing some of these challenges. Now, it's really expensive, being on a skilled worker visa in the UK. Even applying for the skilled worker visa, it's quite expensive. At the moment, the immigration health surcharge, which is called the IHS fee, costs about £1,035 at the moment. So it means that if you're getting a 3 years visa, you're paying about £3,100 on the IHS fee alone. And that's not, that's in addition to the visa fee, which is about, I think, about £600 or thereabouts. So it means for every application you put out for a 3 years visa, you pay practically paying about 3,500 to 3,700, depending on the duration of the visa being, issued on your certificate of sponsorship. So just imagine paying £3,500 on each applicant. So if you have a family of four, that's 3,500 times four. And you know what that value is saying already. That's about 14 grand already on visa application fee for the family of four, which is a lot in my opinion. And this cost application really makes it difficult, not challenging. It puts so many people in debt in a way, really. So just imagine going through the hassle or the stress of applying for jobs, eventually getting the job, and having to bother about the cost implication of being on that visa, which is really expensive. But it is what it is. I guess it's the price you have to pay for wanting to be on a particular visa here in the UK, which is why I recommended, if you're in tech, leveraging on the global talent visa, so you don't have to think about having to renew that visa on that cost. And it's also important for you to know that getting your permanent residence in the UK is also not cheap. I mean, a friend of mine recently applied for his indefinite leave to remain, and I was marveled about, the amount he paid for the a permanent resident application, which is really a lot, but it is what it is. Now, another major challenge being faced is for dependents. Now, there are a couple of occupation code that no longer allows people to bring in their dependents. Yesterday alone, I got two calls from people whose dependent visas were denied because of the new policies being implemented, which is really sad because it makes it difficult to like plan long term, and it creates that kind of fear in you, and the uncertainty that comes with getting your visa denied can really be disheartening and all. But anyway, now the dependent visa is also a major challenge, and what I tell people is if you've got a partner that got a job with occupation code 6135, 6136, you might want to risk, applying, because I also had just yesterday also I had two individual, no, three individuals. The third person's visa came in yesterday also. I had three individuals whose dependent visa was accepted or was successful, and their main applicant occupation code was also 6135, 6136. So the whole approval of the dependent visa for the health and care visa is really based on the discretion of the caseworker. Some caseworker will think, oh, there's a justification to actually approve, while another caseworker will think there's really no justification to approve your dependent visa as a dependent for someone on the health and care visa. So it's really sad, but I think it's just worth having a second option. So when the first option doesn't work, you have something to really fall back on. Now, another major challenges that comes with working or being on the skilled worker visa is all of this change in policy. And the good thing about the change in policy here in the UK is that it's usually going forward. So if they're changing the policy now, oftentimes it doesn't affect those who are already on that particular visa. But what if you're trying to like switch visa, for example? when the policy of the salary administration came into place, those who are on the student visa switching to the health and care visa or switching to the skilled worker visa becomes almost difficult because the change of policy affected them also. So yeah, change of policy is one of the challenges that comes with having to be on um, the skilled worker visa here in the United Kingdom. So navigating life in the UK can really be challenging. However, with adequate information, you can always sail through and still live that best life that you've always wanted. So if you have any question around securing the skilled worker visa, being on the skilled worker visa, please still those questions in the comment section. And if you're coming across my channel for the first time, do well to hit on the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my 20 subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So this will be the end of this video, and I'll sure see you guys in my next video. Thank you.